We are still a free country, at least for now, and people have to make a decision, and that's their personal decision.
Protests have been popping up across the country for days. In Wisconsin,
we're not going to have a vaccine for at least 18 months. We cannot shut down our state for 18 months.
Texas, and in Michigan, with the apparent backing of the president.
These are people expressing their views. I see where they are, and I see the way they're working. They seem to be very responsible people to me.
The president also tweeting, "Liberate Virginia, Michigan, and Minnesota from stricter rules on social distancing."
He's basically asking these people to violate state law because the governors have the stay-at-home orders, and he's asking them to violate it. I think this is irresponsible. I understand the sentiment, but I think it's irresponsible.
Some states are starting to take steps towards opening up their economies. North Carolina, Florida, and California have allowed access to a few beaches, but frustration continues to fuel anger.
I need my job. I need to work.
While much of the country stays at home. Dan Scheneman, NBC News.
This pandemic has now infected nearly 2.5 million people around the world and killed
still
more
a free
than
country, at least for now, and people have to make a decision, and that's their personal decision.
Protests have been popping up across the country for days. In Wisconsin,
We're not going to have a vaccine for at least 18 months. We cannot shut down our state for 18 months.
We're finally seeing that death toll drop below about 500 people per day in countries like Spain and in countries like Italy, and that's where you're going to see some of these openings taking place. Like the U.S., it will happen regionally across Europe, and it will happen very slowly.
The president also tweeting, "Liberate Virginia, Michigan, and Minnesota
has been hit
stricter
so
rules
hard.
on social
They're starting to get
distancing."
some businesses
He's
open.
basically asking
Obviously,
these
people need to keep that social distancing practice going,
because
but
the
about
governors have the
300,000
stay-at-home
people back
orders,
to
and
work
he's
in the
asking them to
Madrid region. We're
violate it. I
talking
think this is
mostly about the
irresponsible.
construction
I understand
industry.
the sentiment, but I
Some
think it's
people in
irresponsible.
Spain have actually
Some
disagreed with
states
this.
are
Some
starting
members
to
of the
take
government,
steps
so there
towards
is
opening
some
up their
concern there that the
economies.
disagreements
North
will
Carolina,
last.
Florida, and
In Italy, we
California
are seeing
have
the
allowed
forestry
access
industry
to a
back
few
up and running.
beaches,
That is
but
key to
frustration
construction. We've
continues
seen
to
millions
fuel
of
anger.
jobs lost
I need
there.
my job. I need
Schools
to
are
work.
looking to reopen
While
there
much of
in
the
the next
country
3 to 4
stays at
weeks,
home.
although the government
Dan
is delaying
Scheneman,
that decision as
NBC
well. Now,
News.
here in the United Kingdom,
This pandemic has
country
now
will
infected
stay in
nearly
lockdown
2.5
until at least
million
May the
people
7th.
around
We
the
heard from
world and
government
killed
ministers
more
this
than
morning that bars and restaurants could
165,000.
stay
But
closed
some
as
countries
far
have weathered the
as winter.
COVID-19
That's how
storm and are
long the
now prepared
lockdown
to
here could
reopen
last.
some businesses.
The death toll in
Joining
the
us now
United
from
Kingdom
London with the very
has been
latest,
at its
Cal
lowest
Perry.
level
Cal,
in
good
some
morning.
2 weeks, but the concern here, as it is around the world, is that as you ease these So lockdowns, we're we could finally see a seeing second that wave death toll drop drop what the Prime below Minister about was meeting 500 with his people per cabinet day in ministers countries like about Spain yesterday, and in Corey, countries like Philip? Italy, and that's
All right,
where
Cal,
you're going to
thank
see
you. We
some of
appreciate
these
it.
openings taking
For
place.
many
Like
survivors
the US, it will
of
happen
coronavirus,
regionally
the
across
fight
Europe,
doesn't end
and it will
after
happen
leaving
very
the hospital.
slowly. We're only talking
NBC's
about certain
Scotty Schwartz
businesses in
reports on
Spain
how some
where the
are
healthcare
recovering.
industry has been hit so hard. They're starting to get some
They are the
businesses
victorious
open.
moments that have
Obviously,
come to
people
define
need to
us
keep that social
surviving
distancing
COVID-19.
practice going, but about 300,000
today?
people back to work in the Madrid region. We're talking mostly about the construction industry. Some people in Spain have actually disagreed with this, some members of the government, so there is some concern there that the disagreements will
Jr.
last.
is no
In
stranger to
Italy, we
illness.
are
She's a
seeing
breast
the
cancer
forestry industry
survivor and
back up
says
and running. That is key to
COVID-19 is much
construction.
worse.
We've seen millions of jobs lost there. Schools are looking to reopen there in the next 3 to 4 weeks, although the government is delaying that decision as well. Now, here in the United Kingdom, this country will stay in lockdown until at least May the 7th. We heard from government ministers this morning that bars and restaurants could stay closed as far as winter. That's how long the lockdown here could last. The death toll in the United Kingdom has been at its lowest level in some 2 weeks.
47-year-old John
concern here, as
Patsanakis
it
was
is
put on
around
a
the
ventilator.
world, is that
Hospital
as you
staff
ease these
asked him what he had to
lockdowns, we
live
could see
for
a second
before putting
wave.
him
That
into
is
a
what the Prime
medically
Minister was
induced
meeting with
coma.
his cabinet ministers about yesterday.
Showed them
Corey, Philip?
my phone
All right,
screen,
Cal,
and I
thank
said,
you. We
"Look, these
appreciate
are
it.
my 3 daughters
For
and my
many
wife."
survivors of
I wanna see
coronavirus,
them
the
again.
fight doesn't end after leaving the hospital. NBC's Scotty Schwartz reports on how some are
Now at
recovering.
home with his family, taking it day by day, John does physical victorious moments that have come to define us surviving COVID-19.
Knowing that, hey, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
It tastes better today than yesterday.
And for those who were infected on the front lines, a sense of duty strengthened now to help others beat the virus. Deidre Jr. is no stranger to illness. She's a breast cancer survivor and says COVID-19 is much worse.
take care of a coronavirus patient that's known positive, because there's probably less of a chance of me getting sicker from it rather than someone who hasn't.
For survivors like Diana Barrett, inspiration comes from the possibility of immunity and helping researchers find a cure.
Your blood and plasma will help solve the mysteries of this virus, and there's nothing that is more powerful than that.
Barrett even started a 47-year-old John Pratt survivor was put on a ventilator. Family friends asked him what he had to live for before putting him into a medically induced coma to fight.
I am truly on the other side now and fully recovered. You are looking at the face of a COVID survivor.
Gadi Schwartz, NBC News.
In Canada, 16 people were killed in a shooting rampage in Nova Scotia. Those shootings happened over a period of 12 hours in the town of Portapique. According to authorities, the victims were ambushed by a gunman who posed as a police officer. Police identified that gunman as 51-year-old Gabriel Wortman, seen here on your screen. He worked in the province making dentures. After leading police on a 60-mile manhunt, Wortman was captured at a gas station and later killed. The victims of the attack included a 23-year veteran of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Constable Heidi Stevenson. She was a mother of 2. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said his heart goes out to everyone affected by the situation.
The South is getting slammed by another round of severe weather. Just 1 week after a series of deadly tornadoes, powerful winds are again ripping across the southeast and leaving behind a path of destruction. There have been reports overnight of serious damage in Alabama, Georgia, and northern Florida. Before the winds picked up again, Alabama had already been hit by storms powerful enough to rip off roofs and bring down trees. This weather also brings the threat of severe flooding, and more than 90,000 people across the southeast lost power.
NBC meteorologist Janessa Webb has been tracking all of the wicked weather for us overnight. Janessa, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. This continues to be a very fluid situation. We have a very juicy atmosphere right now. Temperatures and dew points, they're very high, and that's leading to these storms across the southeast. Now,
after leading police on a 60-mile manhunt, Wortman was captured at a gas station and later killed. The victims of the attack included a 23-year veteran of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Constable Heidi Stevenson. She was a mother of 2. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said his heart goes out to everyone affected by the situation.
The South is getting slammed by another round of severe weather. Just 1 week after a series of deadly tornadoes, powerful winds are again ripping across the southeast and leaving behind a path of destruction. There have been reports overnight of serious damage in Alabama, Georgia, and northern Florida. Before the winds picked up again, Alabama had already been hit by storms powerful enough to rip off roofs and bring down trees. This weather also brings the threat of severe flooding, and more than 90,000 people across the southeast lost power.
NBC meteorologist Janessa Webb has been tracking all of the wicked weather for us overnight. Janessa, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. This continues to be a very fluid situation. We have a very
Welcome back in. One of the keys to reopening the country is knowing that a second outbreak can be prevented. The answer may lie with disease detectives called contact tracers. NBC Sam Brock has more.
Georgia and the northern part of the
in cities desperately fighting to corral the coronavirus.
We have torrential rain that's coming down about 3 to 4 inches per hour with another forecast of 1 to 3 inches today.
Like New York, Houston, and Los Angeles.
We need to know if you're positive so we can contact people you've come into contact with.
A secret weapons emerging, critical to combating second and third waves of outbreaks. That's not an app, but a long-standing workforce
so we're going to see some more
redeployed.
Activity for
this is exactly what we've been doing, but with sexually transmitted infections and HIV.
Tech titans like Google and Apple may be working on a digital solution, but people like Guadalupe Valdivinos and 1,600 other disease detectives have been tracking infections for years. Normally, they'd be knocking on doors. Now, with social distancing guidelines, they're reaching out by phone. Their work often taking them to low-income and minority communities, disproportionately impacted by the disease.
Symptoms are very
Welcome
important.
Back in. One of the keys to reopening the country is knowing that a second outbreak can be prevented.
Who do they live with?
May
Without
lie
intervention,
with
a person infected with COVID-19 can come into contact with others they know, potentially exposing them. In cities desperately fighting to corral the coronavirus, even more people, perpetuating a vicious cycle. The idea is to break that chain of transmission by isolating the source as quickly as possible. Like New York, Houston, and Los Angeles.
We need to know if you're positive so we can can contact people you've come into contact with.
David Harvey leads the National Coalition of STD Directors second and third waves of outbreaks. It's not an app. A new long-standing from Johns Hopkins advocates adding an extra 100,000 contact tracers. A role Harvey says takes a year to properly train. Maybe working on a digital solution, but people like Guadalupe Valdivinos and 1,600 other disease detectives have been tracking infections for years. Normally, they'd be knocking on doors. States like Massachusetts, Minnesota, and Illinois have begun boosting their contact tracer ranks, taking them to low-income and minority communities disproportionately impacted by the disease.
And in terms of when contact tracing is most effective, it's not really meant for when you're outside, strolling around other people, or passing those quickly in a transit or subway system.
Without intervention, a person infected with COVID-19 can come into contact with others they know, potentially exposing them.
Okay,
Those
Sam,
individuals can then interact with even more people, perpetuating a vicious cycle. The idea is to break that chain of transmission by isolating the source as quickly as possible.
We ended up winning the series, but it was an incredible playoff performance. I've never seen it before.
David Harvey leads the National Coalition of STD
That wasn't
Directors
Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
A new report from Johns Hopkins advocates adding an extra 100,000 contact tracers. A role Harvey says takes a year to properly train.
If we can bail out the American airline industry with $250 billion, we can sure as heck allocate $250 billion.
The Last Dance is already going viral. It scored some big laughs
States like
online.
Massachusetts, Minnesota, and Illinois have begun boosting their contact tracer ranks in an effort to meet a surging national
Chicago
need.
resident instead of, former president of the United States.
And in terms of when contact tracing is most effective, it's not really meant for when you're outside, strolling around other people, or passing those quickly in a transit or subway system.
Every single one of them.
It's more about
all right, coming up on the Today Show, an exclusive look at that explosive new docuseries.
Corey, back to you.
Okay, Sam, thank you.
Hey everyone, we continue to watch your COVID-19 implied growth rate by region, and today we're following a dramatic decrease. We haven't seen this kind of decrease regionally since
but it was
March
an incredible
So this is very good
playoff
news, but
performance.
today
I've never seen it before, and I had never seen it after. That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
That was Celtics legend Larry Bird talking about what it's like trying to defend the greatest basketball player
shut
of
down.
all
That
time.
means a lot
game
of
happened
canceled
34 years ago
but
to
that
the
hasn't
day.
stopped celebrations.
ESPN's
Once
hotly
again in
anticipated
Colorado,
Michael Jordan
got to enjoy her
documentary
special
premiered
night
last night
with some help
and it
from
looks
her
back
family.
at the unstoppable
Jessica Barretto has this report.
team. The Last Dance is already going viral. Scored some big laughs online. It was all about the Chiron. On President Barack Obama, he was simply titled
It started with a surprise proposal from 9-year-old Tyson to his 18-year-old sister Jacelyn.
From the airing, and it'll go all the way through May 17th.
Erica didn't want this pandemic to rob her daughter of another special moment.
Implied growth rate by region, and today we're following a dramatic decrease.
So Tyson happily stepped up to be her date, while Jacelyn's boyfriend Zach joined remotely, and together they escorted Jacelyn to her own home prom. Right in her living room.
We're hoping for that curve to go down.
Surrounded by a sea of balloons and bright lights, they danced,
With schools across the country shut down, that means a lot of
embraced each
canceled
other's
prom nights.
company.
But that hasn't stopped celebrations. One
For
team in
this brother
Colorado
and sister,
got to enjoy
prom
her
turned out
special night
better than
with
they
some
could
help
have
from her
ever
family.
expected.
Reporter
This has
Jessica
been the
Barretto
best
has
night
this
of my
report.
life. It's been so fun.
Best night ever. I couldn't have asked for anything more, and I'm pretty special and lucky that I have them in my life.
They got to make this night their own and build these memories. It started with a surprise proposal from 9-year-old Tyson to his 18-year-old sister Jacelyn.
He's the most amazing little boy.
Thanks to Jessica Barretto for sharing that story with us. They're making the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah, and even though you are missing your final prom, I mean, those are memories you are never going to get again with your brother. So that's very cool.
Yeah, very neat.
In case you're wondering, the wild world of competitive eating has not slowed down during quarantine. World champion hot dog eater Joey Chestnut dipped his hands into Major League Eating's Oreo competition. Contestants had to eat 48 Oreos and down half a gallon of milk.
They escorted Jacelyn to her own home prom.
He finished just
right in her living room
with 3.5 minutes.
Why did that lead our entire newscast, to be honest?
Bright lights.